Welcome to Boomer Travel Patrol. I'm your host, Lisa Caslin, and welcome to our show. Today we're going to talk about North Dakota. And you may be saying, why are we talking about North Dakota? Well, there's a lot going on there. And, particularly for boomers who want some action and adventure, not only are they booming in terms of, financial prosperity due to the oil boom, but tourism is really taking off. So this place is really worth a look-see. So we've got Sarah Otte Coleman with us. She's the Director of Tourism from North Dakota, and she's going to talk about the tons and tons of fun things that we can experience in her lovely state. So welcome, Sarah.
Well, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. So now we know that there has been a huge influx in population growth in your state because there's a lot of hardworking young guys that are moving up there, and their families are probably coming up to visit. Maybe boomer moms and dads coming to see their sons and daughters. So talk about how tourism has been affected by all of this.
Well, I think the biggest thing that's happened on the tourism front is that people are just newly aware of North Dakota. So, yeah, they may have learned about us and learned that Bismarck was the capital back in 4th grade, but they haven't really thought a lot about us since then. So it's been a great awareness building. With the oil boom, people are now very intrigued and interested. It used to be I'd get on a plane and people would say, really, I never heard of North Dakota. I don't really know much about it. But now I'm saying, wow, you guys have a lot going on in North Dakota. It's all I'm hearing about and reading about. Is it true? Or is this what's happening there? So it's just kind of a great way to get us on people's radar. And I think, as boomers, we've done a lot of traveling already, right? We've been to a lot of places. So why not go someplace unique that not everybody else goes?
Absolutely. And, our viewers are really young boomers. They seek adventure, they seek fun. And I think your state provides a lot of really interesting nature-oriented outdoor activities. So talk a little bit about that.
We do. We're definitely an outdoor destination, although we've got the, city amenities and all the important services. Yes, we have Wi-Fi just about everywhere, like everywhere else. But you can really get out and enjoy the outdoors here in North Dakota. And you can do that in a number of different places depending on what part of the state you're in. It is a fairly large state, so you do need to plan for some travel time between. But let's start out in the west. Theodore Roosevelt National Park is the national park in our state. There are 2 units. One is by Medora, and the other is north of that by Watford City. They both provide really excellent hiking trails. They're near the Otte Trail, which is a mountain biking and horseback riding trail. Just a lot of wildlife viewing and not a ton of congestion. That's the nice thing about this national park. You can go through, get on and off and explore, and you're not going to be in line slowly creeping behind a bunch of other cars. It's beautiful scenery with the Missouri River, the little Missouri River cutting through the park, and really a great destination year-round.
Good,
so that's
good.
One great outdoor place. The other one is a big one because we have 63 wildlife refuges in the state, more than any other state. So there's a lot of bird watching and a lot of just outdoor getting with nature. And the wildlife refuges really open themselves to all sorts of recreational opportunities. And they have infrastructure, visitor centers, and interpretation available. Or you can just get off on your own and do your own thing.
Very cool.
And we also have the largest national grasslands in the country in North Dakota. So that's kind of that Otte Trail that I'd mentioned. It's a 130-mile mountain biking, horseback riding trail that winds through one of the largest national grasslands in the United States. So North Country Trail wraps through here as well. That's a kind of a cross-country trail. And then we also have the Pembina Gorge area, which is kind of a glacial erratic in eastern. Yeah, because eastern North Dakota is very flat. I mean, that's kind of where people get their impression of North Dakota.
Is that the Badlands? Is that what's considered the Badlands?
No, the Badlands is in the west, so that's really rugged. And then in the east, it's flat, fertile farmland.
Okay.
So as you come out of that east, there's just this pocket of really rough land that's called the Pembina Gorge. So that's another beautiful area for hiking, and they've got canoe trails and kayak rentals and all sorts of activities there.
Can you still see buffalo? I mean, running wild in North Dakota?
You can, and a couple of different places. Of course, Theodore Roosevelt National Park is great for wildlife viewing. There's a lot of buffalo herds. It's not uncommon to have to stop on the road and to wait for the herds to cross in front of you
Oh,
in the national park there. You'll also find them at the National Buffalo Museum, which is in Jamestown. They have a sacred two albino buffalo in that herd that are
oh,
sacred, so they're beautiful.
wow.
And then we also have Sully's Hill, which is a national site outside of Devil's Lake, which is another really scenic area in east central North Dakota. So there's a number of places to find buffalo. And then you can also find some domestic buffalo on ranches throughout the state.
Oh, okay. So, having gone through the outdoor adventure stuff, we also like to be spoiled, and we want to spa, and we want to shop, and we want to dine. So where do we go to do all of that?
Well, the biggest city in the state is Fargo, and that's located, in the very eastern edge of the state. It is
Hmm.
a really fun, eclectic community. They've won all sorts of national awards, kind of just because they're reinventing themselves, but in a fun and vibrant way. There
Hmm.
you'll find everything from spas to great variety of restaurants, eclectic shopping. The downtown has just really kind of exploded, as well as other parts of the metropolitan area. So if you're looking for that city experience without having to get into a huge city where you have to worry about traffic and all of those kind of things, Fargo is a great destination. Bismarck is not far behind them in the central part of the state. Both communities also have great museums, I should mention, and galleries. The State Museum at the Heritage Center here in Bismarck just went through a $60 million expansion. So
Mm.
they have 3 brand new galleries that are just beautiful on the state capitol grounds. And
Hmm.
that's actually walking distance from downtown.
Oh,
So
good.
the Bismarck Mandan area also has the spas and the shopping and the fun, eclectic amenities that you'll come to expect. We all expect those things, right?
Of course, of course, of course. Okay, so before we let you go, are there any fun events? I know that you recently celebrated Mr. Bubble Day, and I know that's important. But you got anything else coming up that we might want to know about?
Well, you can tell it's a boomer audience because some of us remember all those Mr. Bubble commercials,
Oh, yeah.
which the founder of Mr. Bubble is also the founder of Medora, which is the gateway community to the national park. So
Okay.
it does have a little bit of a tourism connection there. But 3 of our major events happen actually in the fall. One of them, the United Tribes International Powwow, is one of the largest international powwows in the country. They're just a beautiful pageantry of color and dancing and drumming and celebrating, of course, the Native American culture. And then we also celebrate our Scandinavian heritage up here. And
Oh, I like
so
that.
the Norse Kust Fest is in Minot every year, and that's a 4 or 5 day event that really celebrates everything Scandinavian.
Hmm.
Food, they bring in all sorts of entertainment and artisans from over in Norway and Sweden, as well as national acts. They have excellent entertainment throughout. And then we talked about Medora. Medora Musical runs through the first week in June through probably the first or second week in September every year, every night, a nightly variety show in the beautiful Burning Hills Amphitheater just outside of Theodore Roosevelt National Park.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So if anybody wants additional information, they should go and visit your website, right? Which
They
is?
absolutely should. ndtourism.com. And there you'll find a great list of activities, things to do, events, and all the details you need to plan your trip.
Okay, super. Well, listen, we want to have you back sometime. In the meantime, enjoy the fall, and I hope you don't have too bad of a winter this year.
We fared pretty well. I think we've done better than the East Coast the last few years, so we're hoping again.
Okay, take care, Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.